Today's video is sponsored by Picker's Grip. Stop dropped picks and pick rotation while playing with Picker's Grip. Made with all natural ingredients in Virginia. Check out their website to order. When you support my sponsor, this also supports my channel, and it's very much appreciated. What do we got for you here today? Another forgotten gem from the past, another Digitech HardWire series. Stay tuned, we're going to check it out together. Thank you so much for taking a few moments to check out this video. If you haven't already, please consider subscribing to this channel down below, as it really does help out a lot. There are also various links down in the description for you to check out gear used in these demos, or in all of these videos for that matter. If you would like to support the channel, there's various ways that you can do that down there as well. If you are new to this channel, several weeks back I did a video on Digitech pedals that I think everybody should check out. And since then, in that particular video, I mentioned the entire Digitech HardWire series. And since then, I have done a demo on the Digitech TL2 metal distortion. Raved about that entire series ever since. And I also mentioned since then that I had another one on the way. This is the SC-2 valve distortion. This is basically their Marshall in a box. I bought it from the same place, the same store that I got the other one, and that one had... that particular store had somebody sold that store a bunch of these that were basically brand new in the box. This one still, again, obviously came with the box itself. The TL2 that I got was pristine, looked like it had never been touched. It still had the cellophane covering up the logos and stuff on it. I'm hoping this is part of that same batch and is in the same condition. Let's see what we got. Hey, okay. I like my chances. Again, wrapped in the plastic. The knobs have definitely been fiddled with. There is the stomp lock mechanism that they gave away with these pedals. There's the pedal itself and the plastic, etc., etc. There is the owner's manual, the registration, they put that thing in there for you to put around. If you want to, you can actually put it on top of the rubber and around the HardWire logo on the switch. And that's obviously meant to glow in the dark so you can see it easier on a dark stage. That's what that's for. And of course, Digitech were also kind enough and thoughtful enough to include a correctly cut size of Velcro on the back should you want to mount it to your pedal board using via Velcro. Basically, everything that would have come with this pedal brand new, when you bought it brand new, is still with it. And the stomp lock, this is I covered that in the TL2 video. Basically, it's a piece of rubber that after you had your settings in place, you can put the stomp lock on top of the knobs to keep them from moving around. Should you happen to bump one of the knobs with your foot and knock a setting right or left that you didn't mean to, the stomp lock rubber will go right over there on the top of that to prevent you from doing that. And there is the box and everything, all its glory. So a very Boss style stomp box, meaning that the foot switch is, that great big giant thing, it's all raised up above the level of the knobs in the front. Again, very, very Boss-like in design. The switch will open somehow, theoretically, with the two little things on the side. These things are generally pretty difficult to get to cooperate, as this one appears to be doing as well. Okay, all right, that's enough of that. I'll tell you what, let's plug this thing in and see what this thing sounds like. by far not the worst pedal I've ever heard. As a matter of fact, this is one of the better Marshalls in a box type distortions that I have heard, and I think probably the main reason why I like it is because of the low end on it that it provides. It's got a lot of bottom end, and there's a lot of really, really cool tones to be had out of this thing. These pedals came out back at about in the mid-2000s, I believe, and the HardWire series pedals were actually really, really cool because up until that point, Digitech/DOD were known to be pretty much strictly a digital company. Everything, all their effects were digital. I mean, that's just, it's in their name, Digitech. The HardWire series were definitely a departure from what they're used to doing because the HardWire series are all analog. And they sound like they are all analog, and they sound fantastic. That's one of the reasons why I love this series. Not to say that analog pedals are better than digital pedals or vice versa, just because these were different. Okay, so, when we take a deep dive down into this thing, the four main controls there are nothing too uncommon that you don't see on a lot of other distortion pedals. Level control, gain control, and low and high, essentially two-band EQ. No need for a mid control because this thing's got a ton of mid-range. What this thing does have that is rather unique from a lot of other distortion pedals is two different modes. That little mini toggle switch has a crunch mode and a saturated mode. The crunch mode, of course, is meant to sound like an overdriven, kind of sound like a plexi, Marshall plexi of some kind, maybe JCM 800-ish. When you turn that knob all the way up, when you kick it over into saturated mode, that takes it from Marshall mode to hot-rodded Marshall territory, and it actually, I think, does a really, really nice job of sounding a very good recreation of both. I think one reason what I really, really like the sound of this pedal is the low. That bass control actually does an awful lot, adds a lot of bottom end, and in my opinion, a lot of modern type of sounds. It just sounds modern to me. I don't know how else to describe it. Of course, as I mentioned before, standard boss style foot switch, mono input, mono output, standard 9-volt input, and then, of course, on the back, there's your rubber pad, and, your Digitech logo. And one thing that I just noticed that I was not aware of is, if you can see it right there, where it says Digitech made in the USA. These are American made. I didn't know that. Very cool. Learn something new every day. HardWire series are American-made pedals. I was not aware of that. Anyway, I hope that you have enjoyed this demo. I have certainly enjoyed making this demo for you. I can't go on enough about the HardWire series, and probably the coolest thing about it is, unless this video series suddenly takes off, and so far it has not seemed to be, you can buy these things dirt cheap. Like I said, I think I bought this thing used on Guitar Center's website for $39.99, and that was a seemed to be a pretty common going rate for the SC-2 valve distortion. Most of the HardWire series pedals that are out there seem to be able to be had for very, very reasonable prices. Some of them are starting to climb in value, like the DL8, which was the delay looper model. That one seems to be climbing in value and getting to be a little bit harder to find. So, thank you so much for checking out this video. Don't forget to go check out the Digitech HardWire series. Don't forget to check out my friends at Pickers Grip. Links to them and their products are going to be down in the description below. Pickers Grip were, of course, kind enough to sponsor this video, so let's give them some love. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next video.